So scan the QR code. Oh, and that's my name right there. Open Sesame. Voila. It took precisely 1 minute and 30 to get inside. The INSTER that we know of is called Casper Electric here in Korea, while this guy right here is called Casper, and this one is ICE, internal combustion engine. The new Casper gasoline 1.0 turbo, the essential, its base trim, it is the facelifted version of the original Casper, so it looks slightly different from the very first one we got, but this is essentially the donor car of the INSTER that we all know of. So let me quickly give you a side-by-side comparison. And the car being the essential model, it's got the steel wheels, so it is not the loaded trim, just so you know. That INSTER in red is the one that I came here for, as you saw from the thumbnail, but I'll get back to that car momentarily. This being the donor car, it is the ICE, internal combustion engine car, the different tail lamps from the very first Casper. If you want to know more about the first Casper, feel free to check it out on my channel. This is the upgraded and facelifted tail lamp from the first one, so is the rear diffuser, and the rest is pretty much similar to the INSTER that we know of, except that this is actually shorter in terms of the wheelbase because the car needed to meet certain sizes in order to be categorized as the K car or micro car here in Korea to get all the tax benefits and other benefits such as parking lot fees, toll fees, annual fees, you name it. It has the two-lay setup and it is attached on the rails, so it's not specifically made for the Casper. That one actually is INSTEROID on the background right now. I have detailed review of the car. I met all the designers that you're seeing on the screen right now. Christopher, I interviewed him, so if you want to know everything about INSTEROID, please feel free to check that video out. I mean, you are seeing it on this display just like that. From the INSTER, the donor car, came the INSTEROID. INSTER on steroids, pretty much. There is a whole video of the INSTER on my channel, so please feel free to check it out. I quickly want to show you the original, the donor car before INSTER. I really love the fact that there was the shelf right here. It is the first car from Hyundai, if not Hyundai Motor Group, to get that shelf, and this has been carried over to later Santa Fe, Tucson, Palisade, you name it, because this was such a brilliant job, which I personally loved. Seems like many people did as well, so this has been carried over. Big thumbs up to Casper designer coming up with that. So ambient lighting, all this, you probably think it's not too much different except some of the AVN, the infotainment system, and the gauge cluster over there, so you can actually see the difference and feel it to yourself. This is the smallest, tiniest, and also cheapest car there is that you can get from Hyundai. The wheelbase wise, it's shorter than INSTER, therefore the second row space is smaller, more compact than the INSTER due to the reason being. Well, let me just show you this right now. You can probably see it on the video already, right? Outrageous second row leg room thanks to the wheelbase the INSTER has gotten. So INSTER actually gave up the benefit of the K cars and micro cars, but INSTER being a full EV, there also is benefit associated with the EVs. So keep an eye out for the second row doors. So I honestly don't know exactly where they have elongated. So take a look at the second row door of INSTER versus Casper. You see what I mean, right? So that one is much more shorter compared to the INSTERs right over here. Design-wise, it's different. INSTER having the pixels. The pixels are penetrating design language of Hyundai EV cars included with Ioniq. Keep an eye out on that reverse light for dotted lines. And also, see how spacious it is in the trunk. I mean, still, it is a tiny car that we're looking at, but being able to load something that tall really does make a difference. It's also quite deep inside over here. It's not a flat surface, so you can actually load more. And when you don't have anybody sitting on the second row seat, you can completely fold the second row seat to load some more. So there is the icon right there with the INSTER, whereas it's this little guy for Casper. And same thing, the Thule, and it's not explicit for INSTER nor Casper. It is the good old Thule that you can get from the Thule website. So that's the reason why it is attached on the rails. And there's a good reason why I am pointing that out and mentioning that, because I will get to that car momentarily. Just give me 1 second. So pixels for the turn signals and that circular design for the DRL, but it is broken in the middle, therefore showing and having a bit of pixels and pixelated grills. You will see a lot of pixels here and there. An active air flap in order to lower the CD coefficient of drag, which is a must for every EV. That also applies for ICE cars, but especially for EVs, because every lowered digit of the CD gets converted into the distance you can cover with the same charge of the battery. Let me give you the differences between the ICE version once again. That is the air intake and the radiator. It's all open for the ICE internal combustion engine cars, just like so, and the INSTER. And the charging port on the front, just like that. Nothing automated, it's all manual, but there is also lighting for the nighttime, so it's much better than not having it, of course, but would have been certainly nice if it was all automated. So last but not least, let's get to this guy. This is the main show of the day, and this is Casper Electric Cross, so i.e. INSTER Cross Tarmac Concept. And this is the car that was debuted at Tokyo Auto Salon 2025 and got everybody's attention, and that's the reason why I'm here today. I'm sorry it took so long for me to show you this car, but there has been a good reason why I showed you Casper and INSTER, because all the things that I told you gets added onto this very tarmac concept. So let's get started with the basket on top. As you can see, there is no rails, unlike these two cars we saw, right? However, it is attached right onto the roof, and this basket is exclusively made for this INSTER Cross model. With that guy over there, so that one is actually blacked out. So that's what you can expect to see with the INSTER Cross model, but the tarmac actually got it painted in somewhat white, if not ivory, to match and go along with the rest of the design, just like so. The penetrating design language of this guy, that is the white and red together, cute side mirrors, as well as the door handle, and not to forget about this white Oz Racing wheels. If you know, you know, they are 1 series rally wheels, tarmac wheels, if you will. You can infer that it is from Italy, and that is correct indeed. It's also written here, made in Italy. But do keep in mind that this car is a concept car after all. It's got the Michelin PS5 Pilot Sport 5. This alone kind of shows that it's not 100% meant to be taken off-road, the real off-road or overlanding even, but that is just for the looks and design overall, because that's also really important, and I think is something that Hyundai is focusing a lot with INSTER, as we just saw with the INSTEROID that was playing over here, right? From that Casper micro K car, affordable car, came and gave birth to the smallest, tiniest EV ever, and we got the INSTEROID, then this tarmac. Who knows what they're cooking right now in their labs. So different bumper designs that you see here, it's not tarmac exclusive, but mostly from INSTER Cross, which I have full review of the car on my channel, so feel free to check it out. Different rear bumper designs and front bumpers, once again, it is from INSTER Cross. So instead of having 4 dotted rear lamps, there's only 3, and more rugged rear bumper design, as you can see. Different tones and colors. It's not cut open, it's not connected to anywhere, however, it certainly gives the different design and vibe to it. Speaking of which, let me show you more about the front. So overall, it flows together with the rear bumper design that we saw. Once again, it is from the INSTER Cross. Same thing, same cutout, same DRL as the one we saw with INSTER over there, and active air flap at the bottom as well. However, it has the different finish to it, piano black together with the active air flap, and one in the middle as well. So it definitely gives more of that premium and luxurious feel to it compared to the bone bare plastic underneath that we saw with the INSTER. Last but not least, you guys know I've been saving it to the last on purpose. That is the rails that has the PIAA, PIA searchlights, the headlights, which are the lights used in off-roads and the rally races. Unfortunately, if you have these on your cars, it doesn't matter which one, it is strictly prohibited and it is against the law. Korea is very, very harsh with regards to any lighting modifications. There's only a handful of LED lights that you can change the headlights with, which you cannot do by yourself, by the way. You actually have to do it at the service center that is qualified. And as far as the rear taillights go, you can only change your license plates to LED, and that is it. I'm not really going to cry about it because different regulations and rules around the world apply to different countries. And honestly speaking, having a modified Nissan 370Z, which I own and I've been for nearly about a past decade, I'm honestly okay. Korea is not too bad to be a modified car owner, because I also meet friends around the world globe, and trust me, Korea is not the worst country to be a car enthusiast who modify their cars. The profile, it is the same thing as the INSTER, the ground clearance as well. So let me show you the battery packs. It's not all that too low, to be honest, but not the highest either for you to take this car to off-roading. Again, it's exactly the same from the INSTER model right here. So no lift kits, the suspensions and the ride heights, ground clearance, it's all same from the original INSTER. Well, I should say INSTER Cross, but INSTER Cross is also the same with the original INSTER right over here. Inside this INSTER Cross Tarmac, honestly, it's the same thing, except that it does have the darker interior, just black monotone, whereas there is a brand new color for INSTER Cross. I think which that model is, I will show you momentarily. Other than that, everything we see here on this Tarmac concept is the same thing from the original INSTER that we know of. Most likely, if you're watching this video, you're also driving, owning an INSTER. Let me know in the comment below how you really enjoy your car up until now, because I mean, whenever I get to test drive cars, I try to drive it as much as possible, but it never comes close to being an owner of the car, of course, right? By this time, I know there are a lot of people who already put thousands of kilometers on INSTER, if not 10,000s of kilometers on INSTER already. So please drop in the comment below and share with me how you like your INSTER thus far, and also how you think about this type of concept cars that Hyundai is coming up with. You know, this INSTER Cross Tarmac as well as INSTEROID. I mean, I really loved that INSTEROID, by the way. Please check out my video because I really loved the interview and the stories behind the INSTEROID. And fingers crossed, Hyundai has more coming and cooking some more in their labs. Once again, check out the space, the first row and second row. I mean, I did bring and drive Hyundai all-new Palisade on my way up here. So it is the largest car you can get from Hyundai versus the smallest, tiniest car you can get from Hyundai. I am sitting inside one back to back. But yeah, of course I feel how small and tiny this INSTER is, but it is really spacious given its physical size. You guys probably also agree with me on this if you have been inside INSTER before. Although this car is small in dimensions exterior wise, the interior is so much more than what you probably could expect and infer from that exterior dimensions. All right, so that second row seat as well. It is a small car. Having driven the Palisade, to be honest. Once again, I can never get enough of this INSTER look. I really love the concept and love what Hyundai has done with the car. INSTER related goodies and merch. Scan this QR code. I mean, I don't think you can make overseas purchases, but you can visit the place and check out all the merch and goodies. So again, this is the original car, or maybe donor car, of the Tarmac concept. I have full detailed review of the car on the channel, so feel free to check it out. I'm not going to repeat it, but in case it's your first time seeing it, quickly show you what's inside and how it looks. I don't think it has the interior color that I meant to show you. So, yep, it is just the black interior, the same thing as we saw with the Tarmac. Hyundai genuine accessory. It is made for INSTER and INSTER only. It can be installed without the crossbar, and you can install extra stuff on top, just like so. It is very sturdy and firm, has all the rails that you can install, and you can put some wheels and tires no problem for that tarmac, seems like. Some of the color chips, just because they're here. And that cute little wheel. All right, so you can see that this guy is much bigger. So that is the battery efficiency, as well as the travel. You can do 285 mixed, 311 on cities, and 252 on highway. That is the specs of the INSTER. Really love the view and what they have done here at Casper Studio, Songpa. And there's another one in Busan as well. So there are 2 Casper studios here in Korea. So if by any chance you're watching this video in Korea, or you have planned on visiting Songpa or Busan, feel free to check them out. As I told you, they are open late and you can visit remotely using your smartphone. You can come in casually, check out the car to yourself, and you have this whole place to yourself, just like you have seen for the past 10-15 minutes. So that's it for today's video, your #1 source of KDM, Genesis, Hyundai, Kia cars. And I'll see you in the next video. And also, don't forget to share your experience and thoughts with the INSTER, because I'm always learning from my viewers, and I absolutely love connecting, communicating with my viewers. If you check any of my videos, I always reply back, or at least I give you that heart every single time, right? All right, so that really is it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. This little guy is the miniature INSTEROID that I have. So you see that I have a soft spot for INSTER and INSTEROID. I genuinely think that INSTER is a great car.